Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another big American Civil War Sunday stream. Welcome in, and this is a Gods and Generals Sunday stream. If the title didn't give it away, I completely forgot to change the thumbnail, so I was frantically trying to do that ahead of the stream, and I think I've just edited it now. I don't know if that matters, but yeah, hello, welcome in. So a Gods and Generals live stream. We're going to be the title is Heth, Pettigrew, and Archer. And then in the short I put out earlier, like my little short videos, we bolted on Davis as well. So and there's a theme around this, and that is those involved in the assault on First Corps or the first day of Gettysburg. So I'm going to have to check this is working. I always try check. Yeah, it seems to be working. Good. Right, back to it. Sorry, I was all flustered trying to change this picture, and it's all gone horribly wrong. But we've done it now. So yes, welcome in, everybody. Hope you've all had a lovely weekend and lovely week since we last spoke. And yeah, just enjoying refreshment. Welcome in. So as always, obviously welcome to the live stream. If any of you are curious what we've been getting up to previously on all our previous live streams, we have a playlist on the channel, the big American Civil War Sunday live stream. Hello Thomas, Mark, David, hello, welcome in, nice and early. I'd like to say massive thank you to everyone who's watching this live, as well as a massive thank you to everyone watching this back on YouTube. I know there's some of you out there who do that. So thank you very much for your support. So yeah, we are into it. I did say last stream that I'd finish off some of the infantry from last stream. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to crack into these chaps. I'll get them on the table in a minute, and we'll just catch up on the chat whilst we're here. David's just finished his fish, chips, and mushy peas. Very nice. Thomas just sat down to some chicken fried rice with gravy after working on Napoleonics all day. Absolutely lovely stuff. Big meals in the chat. Mark, good job having proper meals, chaps. He's just tucked into a Russell's burger. I myself has had a pizza. I've had too many pizzas this week. However, it was going out of date, so I had no choice. My hand was forced tonight, I'm afraid. David is now repairing small terrain pieces for Gaines Mill, tiny farmhouses, a bridge, and old Gaines Mill itself. Repairing or preparing? Makes it sound like they've been damaged somehow, or were they damaged from the battle? Thomas, I have been there too many times, Sir. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you my little guilty secret. I love a Rustler's burger. I would eat them more often if I could, if I didn't feel so guilty. Tim, welcome in, Tim. Hey, buddy, good to be with you guys. Yeah, welcome in, Tim. Now, I've not kept on track of who's been about recent streams, but I feel like we've missed you, Tim. Anyway, whether you were here last week or not, I can't remember. But yes, welcome in. So let's. I'll tell you what. Let's do this first. Let's do this first. Just bear with me, chaps. Bear with me. Mark, yeah, I'm not proud of myself, but never mind. No, it's fine. Too many pizzas. Is that a legit sentence? It is when I'm trying to behave myself, David, but... So... let me... We will take a look. I'll tell you what, let's jump onto Wikipedia, why not? Bonk. Welcome to the land of Wikipedia. Why have I gone to Wikipedia? Because I thought it'd be cool to just talk about the project we are starting, which is these generals, and why we've chosen them. So, there's a little battle, a little unknown battle called the Battle of Gettysburg in the American Civil War, which took part on July the 1st, 1863, for 3 days. And we're looking at... This is kind of going in to complement my Union troops I've done recently. My Union HQs of First Corps. Now, First Corps had a major role in the first day of the battle, as did what we're going to be painting up today, which is Heath's division. Harry Heath, General Henry Heath. Heth, I've heard it pronounced Heth before, but I just assume they are morons and don't know how to pronounce it. No, I'm not going to say that because some of you out there might say Heth. I say Heath, and I believe it to be Heath. I believe that's how it should be pronounced. But I have heard Heth. But, I mean, I've only heard that in a very rare situation. Anyway, so let's look here. This is like sort of... This is going into the battle of day one. Oh, God, what have I done? But we've got our divisional commander here, Heath. I almost said it wrong then. Under AP Hill's Corps. So this is 3rd Corps, and then I don't know what division it is under 3rd Corps. I think it's 2nd Division. You got Heath, who's divisional commander, and now he's got 4 brigades under him. Look at that. So yeah, essentially Heath's going to attack McPherson's Ridge. That's where you have 1st Division of 1st Corps, with the likes of Cutler's Brigade, the Iron Brigade, the famed Iron Brigade. It's Heath's troops that bump into Buford on day one, Buford's cavalry. So yeah, I thought it'd be because I've done 1st Corps for the Union, I thought it'd be nice to actually make an effort to do the Confederate side. So again, credit to Wikipedia. We'll take it with a pinch of salt. I'm not saying this is fact, but it's Wikipedia, which is close enough. And, you know, we're just using it for fun. So, Tom says, I always have some Russ's burgers when I'm busy with work or on the farm and only have a few hours break. Yeah, they're 90 seconds in the microwave, aren't they? Do you toast? Here's a question. Do you toast or grill the buns, or do you just put the whole entirety in the microwave? This could upset a few people now. Thomas Gettysburg, never heard of it. Clearly not a pivotal battle then. No, we'll get round to it, Thomas. You'll learn something today, I think. And if you've not heard of a film called Gettysburg as well, then maybe check it out. Repairing the buildings. Tiny home-built polystyrene buildings take damage from wear and tear in play, even in storage. I see, David. Not a problem. David's having a repair of his Gaines Mill board. Nice. So, here we go. We have... this is the attack. It says down here. I don't need to massively... You have to toast the bun, says Mark. I'm going to be... I flip it upside down. Entirety of the burger. Flip it upside down. Put it in the microwave. So, yeah. That's how I do it. But I'm yes. So, we've got Heath's division here. He's got Davis's brigade and Archer's brigade here, like on the first 7 a.m. This is on the 1st of July at Gettysburg, and that's where you can bump into Gamble and Devon's brigades of cavalry under Buford. So we've got Davis and Archer. We're going to be painting up today, as well as Heath, and then we have Pettigrew as well. Brockenbrow's the other commander who we're not doing today, but if I click this, oh no. So yeah, first day is them. They're going to punch into some cavalry. So I'm working on Buford's cavalry at the moment. That's like another little thing. So it'd be nice to basically do the first engagement of the battle, sort of the cavalry getting pushed off the table, and then 1st Corps coming up just in time. And this is, here we go. Look, so this is Heath's division continuing the assault. Now this is after 1st Corps arrived. David is saying Heath is definitely pronounced Heath, like Ted Heath, 70s UK Prime Minister. Yeah, I just heard it Heth once, but I think it was on one of those sort of not so good YouTube channels who covered the battle, and they were saying Heth, and I just found it really weird. Unless maybe it was an AI or generated thing, and that's why I said Heth. Anyway, so you got Archer here with the his brigade against Solomon Meredith's Iron Brigade. And then you got Lysander Cutler's brigade here. Again, these are commanders that we've painted up as the Union, and then we're going to have Davis and Archer against them, as well as Heath's command. So that is sort of, this is 10 a.m. now, so the cavalry's gone. They've been bumped back. Archer and Davis doing a business on the Union boys. So we're not going to see Pettigrew come in till a bit later in the battle, but Pettigrew's one of those brigades that go head to head with Meredith. So interesting thing as well. So Pettigrew, obviously, when Heath is wounded in Gettysburg, he takes a shot to the head. And there's the rumor of, I say rumor, I don't know, the story of, I don't know, earlier that week, Heath had bought himself a new hat. It didn't fit quite well, so he wrapped newspaper around his head just to make the band slightly bigger. And supposedly a shot came in, hit him in the head, and that paper supposedly saved his life. He just had a horrendous concussion. So Pettigrew ends up taking over the division command. And I think then Pettigrew's division, Heath's division, then takes part in Pickett's charge, I believe. Second day. Second day, third day. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, we've Davis again slugging it out. He's in the railway cut. And they take a load of casualties, I think, from the. But then we've got the likes of the 95th, not 95th, 84th. So the my brain's gone now. The 84th New York, which is the 14th Brooklyn. Oh, is it 14th? We've literally just painted them up. Is them. So they're in the battle, which is cool. Iron Brigade, which is cool. 76th New York, which I think I've got painted up as well, which is cool. So you've got Wadsworth and Doubleday, because by now Reynolds has been shot and killed around Herb's Woods, which is down here with the Iron Brigade. Down to Archer. Archer gets captured in battle as well, which is cool. I say cool. I think it was one of the Iron Brigade's privates or something like that. He charged the lines after seeing the general. He charged him and grabbed him, dragged him across. So, yeah, Archer was captured very early in the battle. I was going to say, Thomas says, I was going to say the same Pettigrew who was part of Pickett's charge, aka the Pickett's Pettigrew Trimble charge. Yeah, I know they say Pickett's charge, but it wasn't just Pickett's division. But yeah, Pettigrew took part in that as well. So here's a bit more of a zoomed out look here, but you got yeah, still Heath's division. And this is about 12:30 now. I don't know if we're going to get any further in this. We'll see let's have a look at Pettigrew's assault. So yeah, here's now sort of 2 o'clock. So a bit later on in the day, where Pettigrew now commences the assault against Solomon Meredith. So yeah, if anyone's seen the film, I'd highly recommend the film, because there's something about the actor who plays Heath in that I really quite like. You know, he's basically they are told to do not bring on a major engagement during the day. Do not bring on a major engagement during the day against Union forces. And what does Heath do? He stumbles into Union cavalry, mistakes them for Pennsylvania militia. So then he puts the pressure on the cavalry. Does actually a good job, bumps the cavalry off, but just in time, First Corps arrives. And then this sort of skirmish then becomes a full-blown thing, and that's when Lee sort of doubles down, and you see that in the film. I don't know how true it is. Obviously, it's hard to say with everything said after the war, but yeah, Lee and Longstreet opts to leave the field, and Lee doesn't. He said, "Why? The enemy's right in front of me. Why wouldn't I attack them?" or something like that. So, yeah. Anyway, that's the ins and outs of it. So that is why we have chosen these generals. I hope that wasn't too long-winded. Heath's actor in Gettysburg is amazing. Can't quite say why his portrayal is so good. Yeah, it is good. I think it's how he when he's answering to Lee, when Lee gives him a bit of a telling off and he's just squirming. It's very good, very good. Because yeah, Heath is told not to bring on a major engagement. What he does is ends up drags the army of Northern Virginia into a major engagement. And he's in bit disbelief with it, really, because I think he may have believed it was just Pennsylvania militia that he was dealing with, but in fact it was the entirety of Army of Potomac, or elements of the Army of Potomac. And you could also argue that if perhaps if Jeb Stuart was doing his job, they wouldn't have had that. But hey. So I'm going to repair the spear because it broke up in the spring. So I basically I'll go through the miniatures in a minute, actually, because there's a bit of kit bashing going on here. I'll go through it. I do like my mounted commanders compared. I'm going for the same setup, sort of, with these Confederates, where my divisional commander will have 3 on the base, or 3 models on the base, and brigades will have 2. The only difference is with Pettigrew. Show it here. So old Pettigrew down here, he's on foot. I've done him on foot. All the others are mounted, but with Pettigrew I've done them on foot. So Pettigrew I've done 3 models. So I had some metals kicking around. I don't know the manufacturer, I'm afraid. But we've got this chap running, which is quite a cool, nice little pose. I've got a Perry Miniatures officer. Confederate officer. I've done a little bit of kit bash and put a sword in his hand, and I've given him, I believe, a redoubt's head. I've gone on photo. Basically, I find photos of the officers online and see, you know, for example, Pettigrew had a longish beard on the portrait I found, so I found a head with a longish beard. And then this chap here, this flag bearer, he's sort of running as well. So I'm going to have a think about what flags I'm going to use. I want to maybe avoid using the standard battle flag for the Army of Northern Virginia, you know, the most iconic Confederate flag. I want to try avoid use that and maybe use more national flags, just because I like the look of the national flags. But yeah, that's Pettigrew, so he's going to be on foot. So it's 3 miniatures there. Let's reply to, so Thomas says, I have started calling it Longstreet's charge. Nice. David, Pickett was the headliner because the attack was technically a Longstreet charge and he was in Longstreet's gore. And maybe Pickett was the most healthiest division at the time. Obviously, Hood and McLaws have been slugging away, haven't they? Mark says, I need to watch Gettysburg. Yes, you do, Mark. Well, maybe we'll do a watch party at some point. Anyway, so here we have Archer. Now, Archer, I've gone for a plastic Perry Miniatures cavalry body chap. But what I've done is I had a spare head kicking around. I don't know where that was from. So he's got a really big hat. I put him on there. I thought that was quite nice and different. And this is Archer as well. So this is a kit bash. Now, a long time ago, I bought a collection of miniatures off someone. I think it was, I'm not going to guess actually because I'll get it wrong. And yeah. So basically, I doubled up all my Perry Metals mounted commanders. Now, a lot of them are named personalities, so it's a bit... For example, this is actually Lee, General Lee, which I've kit bashed, because I've got a General Lee. So having another one here, I'm like, well, what am I going to do with it? So it's General Lee's... I've cut the head off. Again, I've gone for a bearded head, because I was looking at some photos, and Archer looked like he had a bearded head. And I've cut the arm off Lee, and I've put the Confederate officer's sword arm on there. Now, the only thing is his right arm doesn't have braiding on it, but maybe I'll just paint it on and we'll look the other way with that one. But yeah, that's kit bashed. Yeah, making the most out of what I've got here. Because when I did the poll and I said about doing commanders, I think I said how I wanted to do this, but I didn't actually have the miniatures for it. So, yeah, so I did, not last night. Yeah, it was last night. Last night I was chucking this all together. So, Heath. We have Henry Heath. I think called Harry Heath. Now, this is a sculpt from Perry Miniatures, who is, in fact, Heath himself. So we have the big man himself there, with another Perry Miniatures plastic cavalry head set. But again, I've put a metal Perry Miniatures metal head on there. So I had some Perry Miniatures metal Confederate heads kicking around. So, and then this one is just one of the Perry's generic commanders. So I'm going to chuck him on the base with Heth. So yeah, that's Heth. And then the last, but maybe least, is Davis. Now Davis is, again, we've got a Perry Miniatures, just plastic cavalryman there as a flag bearer. And then here is just one of Perry Miniatures generic cavalryman, generic officers, sorry, mounted officers. But I've changed the head. So I've cut the head again. It's actually the same head as Pettigrew, but I've shaved the beard down, and I've cut the hat off, and then put a Perry's plastic cavalryman's hat on him with the cord around the top. So a bit of kit bashing, but nothing wildly out of there. So yeah, it just adds a bit of variation. They just look a bit different. I could have just used the same sculpts. It's really not a problem. I just wanted to make them look a bit more different. So yeah. David said Archer doesn't look like the Captain of the Enterprise NX-01. That's my favourite Star Trek series. I watched it a couple of times all the way through. Really enjoy it. I just like how bare bones it is, you know. It's not too futuristic. It's quite nice. Anyway, we probably ought to paint some miniatures. So, as always, we're going to do the horses. I'm going to have to pick up the pace because I'm actually really excited about getting these painted. So we're going to crack on with it. Now, do I want any white horses is the question. Maybe. We go for the black there. I think we go for... where's all my paints? So, I think we're going to go for... Gore Grunter Fur is a colour we use. I can't remember what colours I used last time, to be honest. Gore Grunter Fur, and I think it was... Lost it. Snakebite Leather. I'm missing a colour now, aren't we? Garagak Sewer, maybe. Do we want any grey horses? We could have a grey horse. Let's chuck that down there. Thomas says, what plastic French did you pick up, Matt? Was it the Warlord Greatcoats? It was the Warlord Greatcoats, Thomas. You should have a look at Piano Miniatures. I have had a look at. I love the look of the sets. I've got no great need for more French at the moment. Otherwise, I would definitely be buying it. David, do you know who General Davis's uncle was? I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say, was it Jefferson Davis? I have a feeling you're going to tell me it was. Big Jeffy D. For anyone who doesn't know who Jeff Davis is, he was the president, or is that what they called it, of the Confederacy. So, Jefferson Davis. Right, let's get into it. Remember how much I dislike painting cavalry. We'll get it. It's only 7 horses I've got to paint. It's not too bad. Can't think how many we painted last time, actually. I'll be able to tell you in 2 seconds because I... Oh, I've just... Oh, well, I'm an idiot. I've just remembered something. Right, so last time we painted up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right. 8, 11, 13, 14. We painted 14 horses last Gods and Generals live stream, so it's going to be wildly easier, maybe. I've just realised I've kit bashed all these and stuff out of miniatures I had and whatnot. But I've got some Warlord miniatures that I could have painted up. Oh well, we'll come back to them. We're technically missing Brockenbrow, maybe. I don't have to be too careful on some of this horse stuff because all the reins are going to be black, so I don't need to be too precious. Right, let's use. I've not actually got any tissue to wipe my brush on. Part of Pettigrew's brigade was Willie Mitchell, son of John Mitchell, a Confederate senator and close friend of Mehar. I always say Meager. I know you tell me every time how to pronounce it. I'm just rubbish at remembering. Anyway, that's very interesting, Thomas. Nice. Painting cavalry is the only enjoyable bit of painting, says David. I think you'd struggle to find anyone who would agree with you on that. I don't mind painting cavalry, or horses, should I say? It's just time consuming. It's just a bigger model to paint. Don't forget to paint dark points on a few of the bay horses and white socks, blazers, etc. Yeah, I need to probably make more of an effort with my horses. I've not really done that on the last lot. Right. Let's give Archer a nice sorrel horse. Why not? Why not, he says. Mar or Mayor? Mar. We'll call him Mar. Sure. Thomas says 100% finished the stand of French Line Grenadiers. Yeah, Thomas, was it you who's posting on the Facebook? If so, I've seen them. It's very nice work, mate. I keep meaning to post some photos of getting these primed on the Facebook, but I can't getting. Right. I know I put a thing up on Facebook and stuff, and it should be on YouTube as well. But I won't be here next weekend for those interested. I'm away, so just a heads up. I've just remembered something I was meant to do this week was looking at promoting the Facebook page a little bit more. Not the community page, but the actual King Nat page. Purely because when I get the channel to, or the page to 100 followers, which we're on 61 now, so not miles away, I can look at doing live streams on Facebook. So I'm thinking it'd be nice to do a Facebook live streams alongside these. I can sort of live stream on the two platforms at the same time. So yeah, something I want to look at doing, but we just need to get the Facebook page up a little bit. So, which it probably will come with time. I'm posting a bit more on that Facebook thing now, so you never know, it might get picked up and people follow it. But yeah, if anyone wants to take the time to do some promotion, then I appreciate it. It just means yeah, I can live stream on Facebook then as well, which I'd like to do. Dave says, fortunately, American Civil War cavalry is both easy to paint and that not that prominent in battle. If you're going Napoleonics, enjoy your hussars. Yes, I think I agree with that. However, to put a spin on it, I did actually really enjoy painting the hussars that I did. I know that it was a lot of work, but those uniforms just look fantastic on a completed unit. So yeah, I could see the attraction of not painting them, but also it was a nice feeling completing them and then being able to look at a completed unit and go, yeah, I enjoyed that. So yeah, swings and roundabouts. I don't know if you've seen as well, Rebellion Miniatures, to go on about them for a bit longer. They had a sculpting issue where they sculpted the bayonets on the wrong way round. But I've been informed that that has been rectified. I hadn't noticed it myself, but apparently it's true. Bit of a mistake. Right, I think we'll maybe chuck a couple of black horses in there. Or maybe at least one. Maybe Davis can have a black horse, actually, why not? Thomas says, yeah, I just started a French army as my group is doing Napoleon campaign, so I'm fixing my mistakes. David, I'll be previewing my Games Meal Joy of 6 game next Sunday in Driffield. Oh, that's exciting, Dave. It's exciting. Thomas, have you ever thought about a King Matt Discord? I'm in Tim's Napoleon Wargaming, and the guys over there are very helpful, especially for someone so used to painting the same two colours for the Union. I have thought about the Discord. Yes, I have. I don't know where I'm at with it yet. I think I'd like to do it. It's just as someone who I myself was in a silly amount of Discords a while back. I don't want to make one just for it not to be used, you know, especially when there's great Discords out there already. But yeah, I think I will fire it up. It's something I want to look at this year. Yeah, I just for for someone who's pretty rubbish with social media stuff like myself, I don't want to give myself something else to keep an eye on. For example, I don't want to set it up tomorrow and then neglect it and not give it the attention it needs or deserves. Because ultimately I'll be putting it on for you guys, and I don't want you guys to go on there and go, well, this is a bit rubbish, and not use it. So that's my thoughts behind it. Right, am I doing a grey horse? I think I was going to. No, we're gonna have a black horse. So yeah, that's my thoughts around the Discord. But yeah, we'll put a pin in it because I'm definitely thinking about it. Thomas says I've seen about Rebellion Miniatures fixing the bayonets. Yeah, no, it's nice. Nice they've sorted it. David said, "See, I told you painting cavalry is more enjoyable than painting infantry." Yeah, maybe more satisfying to finish them is the more correct term for it. But yeah, I really enjoyed my hussars, and I started painting some lancers, and I really like the way they're looking. So, yeah. Well, I guess also I'd like to thank everyone who actually took part in the poll for the live stream as well. We had a great turnout. I think over 43 votes, I think, when the poll ended. So yeah, that was awesome. And yeah, it was very neck and neck, I think, between this and artillery. So I'm kind of glad we've done this one because this is a nice one to do. I had such a nice feeling of finishing the when we were doing the union stuff. Yeah, it felt great to get them finished. So it's quite a satisfying mini project. So I'm looking forward to getting these done. Thomas says, David, if you're so fond of painting cavalry, I have 2 units of French cavalry, dragoons, and carabiniers, as well as a unit of British light dragoons that you can paint at some stage. You can paint them for me. David said, you need to go Great Northern War. The winged hussars made normal hussars look drab and dowdy. Yeah, I've seen images of winged hussars. They are very swish. Not sure I would want to take on that challenge, if I'm honest. But yeah, I've got appreciation for loud uniforms. Maybe that's why I like the Zouaves so much in American Civil War. Been a long time since I painted Zouaves, actually. Maybe we'll have to look at doing some more at some point. I mean, Chasseur Zouaves we did recently. I'm not sure they count. Again, I've got the 11th Indiana I need to paint up at some point. Oh. I picked up some it's not here. Colour Forge clear varnish as well on your recommendations. I think it was David. So I actually varnished up my Union commanders today, with the idea of finishing them off, get them finished. So yeah, I appreciate the recommendation. Thomas says I was thinking about going about getting minis to paint as papal or papal Swiss Guard, but their uniforms put me off. I've not seen those uniforms. I'll have to give them a Google. Hey, General Michael. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. I've seen everyone's been posting on the Facebook, which is great. So we'll do a bit of we'll dive into that Facebook stuff in a bit because we've got plenty of posts on there, which I appreciate. Everyone's sharing their work. I don't know if I did grey horses actually when I did my last lot. David, the cavalry is most enjoyable, but that's relative. Perhaps I should have said least tedious. The striped guards of the Pope, yellow, blue, and red striped uniforms. Oh, yeah, that could put me off as well, Thomas, to be honest. Maybe give that one a miss, eh? But then it's it would look nice though, wouldn't it? Completed. That's the thing. You'd be like, that was a horrendous time painting them, but look at them. So, yeah. Michael, what am I painting? I'm painting some Confederate officers. So, this is a couple of, or 3 brigade commanders from Heath's division at Gettysburg, as well as divisional commander Heath himself. So yeah, we painting up some of them. So just some mounted officers as well as a few on foot. So yeah, we've got Brigade Command Davis, Brigade Command Archer, Brigade Command Pettigrew, and Heath. David said, I think you painted all the last batch of horses all brown. No, I didn't. I did a mix. I did a mix of bay horses, sorrels, a couple of black horses. So yeah. I would have done all brown. I've not done Heath at all, though. I think I am going to do Heath with maybe a sort of a chestnut colour horse and then 2 dark brown horses. That's what I'm going to do. Again, what I tend to do with my painting style is get the horses done first. So that's what I'm going to do on this. I'm going to get the horse base flesh done. Then we'll go do all the tackle, whatever they call. And move on to the officers once that's done. So poor old dismounted Pettigrew for now will be left to his own devices whilst we get these horses painted. Thomas, I have found a new love for washes from about 2 weeks ago when I would have never used used wash to now every mini I've painted today has got a wash. Thomas, it's a real game changer. I remember my eureka moment with washes, and I was painting some Warhammer 40k Kroot a very long time ago. And I found a video on YouTube showing how to basically just do some base coats and then add a brown wash. And that alone just changed my mind. Although for quite a long time, I always took the opinion of, like, if I was doing a green paint, if I was painting with green, I'd use a green wash, and if I was doing something with blue, I'd use a blue wash. I just assumed that's how it worked. Whereas now, I very much stick to blacks and browns. And then maybe a flesh coloured wash, the flesh. But again, I'm using a lot of contrast these days, so I'm not massively using a lot of washes. I'll use a black washes for all my sort of metallics and stuff at the moment. But yeah, it makes a massive difference, mate, because it just gets into the little crevices and stuff and adds that depth, which layer painting can be quite awkward to do. So yeah, but no, I hope it brings joy to your painting. It certainly made me feel a lot more positive about my painting. If you feel positive about your painting, you're going to enjoy it. So. All right. Actually check that I've hit everything and not missed some stuff. All right, a couple of brown horses coming up just for you, David. Michael says, I'm painting some Louisiana Tigers right now. Very nice, mate. Very nice. Have you gone for the straw hats? I went for fezzes on mine. Dave says, beware of the white horses. Less than 1/10 of the percent of the horses are true whites. Yeah, I'm not going to do a white horse on this batch. I think in a couple of my cavalry units, I might have put a white horse in there. I remember us speaking about it previously. Obviously, like with Napoleonics, I think it's quite common to see white horses for musicians. Am I right in saying that? But I don't know if that was so true with the American Civil War. Thomas, I've just used a strong tone wash with and a black wash. Yeah, yeah. So a strong tone like a dark brown, is it? An easy card going past. I recommend Known Oil from Citadel, which isn't too heavy. It's quite subtle. It used to be a really nice wash, but they changed the recipe a couple of years ago, and it's just almost quite watered down now. But I use it and still like it. I haven't found another one that I would replace that with. And then an Agrax Earthshade from Citadel as well, which is just a brown. I really like those two. I really like them. Thomas says, I went for a mix of fez, kepi, straw hats for my tigers. Yeah. Yeah, I just went for the real clean cut looking tigers of the pre bull run. But yeah. Dave says washing makes painting real, especially for 6mm. Yeah, it adds that level of depth, especially when all these miniatures these days are so nicely sculpted and they've got plenty of detail. the washes are just great way to pop detail. And then if you want to go back in and layer, it can sometimes give you a guide. If you just do a base layers and then hit a wash, adding those sort of depth in there kind of helps it easier to maybe pick out where you should be layering for your highlights. So yeah, it's nice. Michael says, I have a variety of hats. I have 2 straw hats, 3 Zouave hats, and 1 kepi, which is on an officer. Very nice. Very nice. Strong tone is a dark brown / black wash. Ah, I see. I've had, is that Army Painter? Because I tried to use Army Painter stuff a while ago, just didn't like it. I think I used their black wash once, and it just came out quite shiny, which was really weird. In fact, I feel like I might have used it on my General Lee model, which I painted a very long time ago. Might have used it on him. This model's almost slightly greasy. The paint isn't sitting nice on it, which is weird. So I primed it. Primer ain't happy with something. I just ran out of primer on this lot as well. I sprayed this up earlier. Almost looks spotty, this horse. Army Painter, yes, says Thomas. Nice. David says very light greys may look white, but a true white has pink skin. Oh, I see. Mike says, sorry I joined late, by the way. I had to do something for my birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Michael. Not a problem. No problem turning up late. We're just kicking back, relaxing anyway. So. I'll be celebrating my birthday this coming week as well, actually. On Thursday. I hope you had a good birthday anyway, Michael. Do you get any models or anything like that? Any treats? At 6mm, almost any black / brown wash, watered down / watered down paint, even a suitably murky brush dip will do the job if you know what you're doing. Yeah, fair point. I imagine 6mm is probably a bit more important to just pull those details out with a wash, isn't it? You are our resident expert on smaller scales, David, so I'll believe you. I'll believe what you say. Nah, just a bunch of clothes, says Michael. Ah, that's a shame. I mean, it's still nice. Just sometimes we want toys, don't we? Michael, I just disbanded my last tiger. I'm moving on to the 11th Mississippi. They look really cool. Search them up. Oh, I will have a look, mate. I will have a look. Yeah, something's weird going on with these models. They're not really taking the paint quite well. They're almost like they're just a little bit greasy. Just strange. Never had that before. Especially this one. This one was primed already, and then I went over it with the primer. Actually, that one was as well. Maybe it's something with this primer. It might be because my primer was at the end of its life in the tin. General Michael, I'm going to a reenactment for my birthday. My mum got me a grey North Carolina depot jacket for my reenacting. That's cool. What reenacting do you do? As in, are you part of like a regiment? David says larger scale, smaller minis. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Thomas said the 11th Mississippi is that unit in the red uniforms used to be under Earl Van Dorn. Oh, yeah, I've seen them. I've seen sort of painting and stuff. That would be a cool... Actually, there we go. Maybe that's one of the next ones to do. Although I don't need it right now. I've got so many infantry. Yeah. I was putting together some camp followers, like some camp soldiers in camp and stuff. So I put together some bits and bobs, and then when I was getting these miniatures prepped last night, I found another bag full of them. So I've got about like 6 or 7 campfire setups that I can have with troops scattered around. Okay, what's the next thing we do? Not massively in the mood at the moment, to be honest. I'd rather just sit around chatting with you chaps. Mains, right. I forget how I paint there. I go in dark, that's going to... Okay, now I know. I'm part of the 26th North Carolina group. Oh, okay, so Colonel Bergman's. 11th Mississippi have big black hats with red cadet stripes. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm going to give them a quick Google now, actually. I'd be interested. 11th Mississippi. Images. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen them before. Yeah, I've seen them. Nice. I was thinking of all red uniforms, not red piping. But yes. Very nice. So sort of frock coats with piping. So I couldn't really model them myself. So I'd have to buy a purpose sculpted ones. I'll have to see what's out there. Never know, might be something out there. Studio Historia Dunham. Don't know. Bum, 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 General Michael, try a birthday reenactment of General Grant's day off. Then you can ask for whiskey for your birthday from everyone. General Michael, next big reenactment we have is First Bull Run. That'd be really cool. That'd be cool. Cool. Only reenacting I do is 1798 United Irishmen, although I used to do World War II and Roman. Have wanted to get into Napoleonic and American Civil War reenactment. The Sealed Knot are quite big in the UK, aren't they? I think they've got some American Civil War stuff. I think I saw them at maybe not part of the Sealed Knot then. It was at Sealed Knot event. I'd never really asked about their group, to be honest, but they did. Yeah, it's probably about 60, 70 of them doing American Civil War. It was really good. General Michael says, I do American War of Independence reenacting, mostly American militia. That is cool. David, First Bull Run, bring your own picnic and see the war end. Exactly. It'll be over. Sort of. Maybe. Not quite. Imagine a First Bull Run reenactment would be good. More colourful uniforms, perhaps. This year's reenactment is going to be huge because of America 250. Soraya, hello, welcome in. How are you? Do welcome in. Please be welcome. How are you? Have you had a good weekend? I'll tell you what, I strangely enjoy your music quiz games, especially ones where you just got to try guess from the like, is it band? No, is it Bandle or something like that? Whatever it's called. Yeah, that's I enjoy those games, even though they get me stressed out because I like to hear a song, but just can't quite get the name. But yeah, me and Thiramar were in the voice chat last night, trying to get it all. It was good. It was enjoyable. A nice way to spend a chill Saturday night. Ugh. Anyway, where was I? Where was I? Is that the event at Manassas? If so, I know some of the guys portraying the 69th New York Militia. That's cool. That's cool, Thomas. I think there'll be about 15,000 reenactors. Blimey. Is that the first Bull Run one? That's nice. Less mud than the Battle of the Crater. Well, a Bull Run, yeah. I've done the Crater and we did it when it rained, so it was muddy and loud. I imagine it's quite atmospheric doing it in the rain, doing these sort of reenactments, but also a bit rubbish getting rained on. Who knows? But yeah, I imagine that Battle of the Crater reenactment would have been cool. For anyone who doesn't know what the Battle of the Crater is, it's basically a battle where they basically the Confederates are sort of fortified. I don't know where the fortification is. I don't know if it has a name. But General Burnside comes up. I believe it was Burnside. Someone correct me. One of you chaps will. Basically came up with the idea of digging underneath the fortification and putting a butt ton of gunpowder. And then the idea was they were going to blow open this fortification area and then send a division just charging through and then sort of seize the ground. So what you have is essentially I think a division of troops basically trained for such an occasion, ready to go in to the breach. But then last minute it got changed and a different division was told they had to go through. And now this was a division as well of United States colored troops as well. So they at last minute were told, hang on, plans changed, it's going to be you going in. So these guys weren't actually trained in the scenario. Anyway, the big boom goes off. A massive crater forms, Battle of the Crater. And then this division, a Union division, is sent in to seize the. But the training originally was to, once the crater explosion goes off, they go around the outskirts of the crater and then into the defenses. Whereas this sort of division that didn't really understand the plan, purely down to they weren't well informed, basically charged straight into the crater, filled up the crater with troops, and then the Confederates, just who survived the blast, were just shooting down, and it was a near massacre of Union troops. It was brutal. But yeah, that's the Battle of the Crater. I believe General Grant was in command of that as well. Ulysses S. Grant. Am I right in thinking that? So yeah, it was pretty brutal, but very reminiscent of things to come with the First World War, of digging underneath trenches and blowing it up. Anyway, where can we get to? Where do we get to? I've had a good weekend, thanks. Went to a local food market today and spent so much money on tat. Is that like local food, as in just, or is it sort of like a bit like a farmer's market? Do you have farms in where you're from, Sarai? Or is it all just... No, I'm joking. Very nice though. One thing I enjoyed about my brother, he used to live in Walthamstow, and when we go down to see him, his local high street was just absolutely chocked with so many different sort of food restaurants and stuff. There's a really nice Lebanese place which I went to when I helped him move, and we went the night before we went out drinking, and I was near death the morning after and had to try eat some Lebanese food. Yes. Matt always said Mark then. Matt was close. Yeah, I always call you Mark. But Soraya always calls you Thiramar, so I was just respecting the language barrier. Yeah, Hurdle and Mandel are my personal faves, says Soraya. Is the Mar in your names a nod to Mark, Thiramar, or just a happy coincidence? I like the lore behind the name that is Thiramar, but I won't spoil it. David, mind you, Gettysburg was no fun. Baking hot, ticks the size of budgies. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Gettysburg was pretty brutal, wasn't it? heat wise. They say like there's just accounts of people collapsing of heat stroke and stuff before Pickett's charge. So imagine that you're in that position, then you've got to march across over a mile of open ground to take the stone wall, and yeah, what a brutal. Thank God I'm not a soldier in the American Civil War. Thomas, if it is, I've shared some documents via vice versa for some Civil War history Instagram or with the 28th Massachusetts and Company B based out of Virginia. In fact, I'm wearing their shirt right now. Oh, that's cool. Hang on, have I missed something? Yeah, sorry, I have. Mark says just a coincidence that it's Mar for Theramar, but people sometimes call him Theramarcus. Yeah, that's true. Perhaps you can get them to write on your McDonald's next time instead. I'm never going back to McDonald's again. Yeah, fair enough. Petersburg was a preview of World War One. Yeah, true. Such an interesting war, the American Civil War, where you start seeing this sort of trench warfare come in. It's so interesting. Tim was born in Walthamstow General Hospital. Well, my nephew was born in Walthamstow General Hospital. What a wonderful small world we live in. There we go. It's about as close as a farmer's market as you can get around these parts, says Soraya. Oh, I don't think I know the name law. Well, I'll let Mark explain it to you at some point. I picked it up as well, the name law. Tim, in the only year England will ever win the World Cup. Oh, that's a few years back then, isn't it? Hang on, which World Cup are we on about? I'm going to make an assumption you're talking football, not rugby. Rugby's a little bit more recent. Right. Horses for courses. Matt, what is your name law? My mum just loved the name Matthew, I guess. I assume you mean King Matt the Superior. It's actually from when I was a kid. 66 football. There's me thinking you were a sprightly 24-year-old Tim. Blimey. No, fair play though. Very cool. So do you have any football related birth stories, or did everyone just think you were lucky for the first bit of your life until we got to the next World Cup and then realised it was never going to happen again? From my superiority complex, says Mark. No, I don't know. I made this YouTube. I think I made back in like 2007 or something like that. And I don't know why I named it that. And then when I started, yeah, I don't know. I just started watching YouTube stuff on my account, and then I was like, actually, this ain't too bad. Past Matt done all right there. And I always remember I was on the Terrain Tutor live stream. It's a great YouTube channel, Mel over at Terrain Tutor, and I think he made a comment about it. He's like, that's a funny name. And then Gary from, is it Gary's Miniatures? He's disappeared, which is really sad. It was a really cool YouTube channel. Gary, he's a London lad, and he is a Harlequin supporter because he'd often wear his Harlequins rugby top on videos. And again, it was always funny hearing him do shout outs. He'd do shout outs quite often of like people watching his YouTube. And yeah, just King Matt Superior, that's a funny name. And you know, I don't know, it's a bit silly, so I like it. And then maybe through manifestation I'll become superior. Tim, I teach elementary, it keeps me young. There you go, mate. We all find it somehow. I just do, I don't know, I just act like a big kid. So oh, that's quite cool. I've searched up the 11th Mississippi on YouTube. I'm on Google, and on the search comes up one of my videos about the 4th Virginia. So I'm not sure what that's about, but that's a nice, enjoyable. Nice to see that I've infiltrated Google. Thomas says, Tim's similar to your parents. That's nice. I was named after a flask called Tiny Tim. I was named for about 6 different Thomases. My great uncle, the multiple Thomas of the Easter Rising, Thomas Miga, Mahan, Ma, there we go, and the Apostle Thomas. I've got something similar with my family of everyone being called. Now I've got to remember this right. I think it's William. Although I this is my mother's side. There was, I think everyone was called William. Funny with names, family names, isn't it? And then yeah, I've not really got much tied names to much else. I don't know when the last Matthew was, but yeah. So, less waffle. Both my grandfathers were William. It's a popular name. Yeah, my granddad was called William, but then we knew him as Jim, Grandad Jim. And for years, I just assumed his name was James. William. I don't know where Jim came from. Very strange. What a world we live in. All right, let's do a bit of we'll do a little bit of this, and then we'll get into the Facebook. We'll check out everything. Tim, when I was 12, my uncle cried when me and my cousin chose to watch the premiere of Superman when Tottenham was playing QPR. He thought we'd choose the match, and my aunt made him take us to the movie. Oh, you cruel beast, Tim. One of the few names that both sides in Ireland use. Well, William, Thomas. Very interested. Soraya, oh, I've not heard of Jim being used short for William. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I questioned my mum on it. She was like, yeah, and that was it. Like, there was no explanation. So, but do you know, I think it was just one of those work nicknames. You know, he worked actually in a very similar job role to Mark Theramark, actually, which is quite cool. There's a cool little nugget. But yeah, I think maybe it was just like one of those work names that he started getting called Jim. That was it. Hello, Blake. Welcome in, mate. How are you? Hope you're having a nice Sunday evening. We're doing more chatting than we are painting right now, which is I don't know if it's going to be so entertaining for. He was a data analyst, says Mark. Yeah, no, he wasn't. But he worked in a similar industry. I don't want to give away what your work was, just in case people hunt you down. Sorry, I know that my grandparents were called by names that were not their names, though. Perhaps it was a generational thing. Like, my nan's name was Noelle, but everyone called her Pam. That's interesting. Yeah, maybe it was a thing. Maybe it was a thing. David, I changed my YouTube handle. I'm sure Hooker's beard got suppressed by the algorithm. They might not know America's civil war facial hair law, and thought it was rude. Yeah, there's definitely a theory around that. I remember when do you remember Beasts of War YouTube channel? And they basically ended up renaming their channel because they found, because it had war in the title, YouTube just didn't like that, and then it starts messing with the messes with algorithms and stuff. So if I had like King Matt the gun shooter as my YouTube channel name, they wouldn't promote it as much because it's talking about guns and stuff. So yeah, interesting. Mark says it's the adult entertainment industry. It's not, Mark. My granddad did not work in the adult entertainment industry, and neither do you, sir. Right. Let's get on with this. Let's do a bit more painting, and then we can say we've at least done something. My maternal grandfather was William, often called Willie. My paternal grandfather was also always Walter, but always called William. It's crazy, isn't it? Why don't they just keep it nice and simple for us, isn't it? My mum's Caroline, but always Carol. I can't remember why she hates Caroline. Can't remember what it is, but it's always got to be Carol. People are just too fussy, aren't they? Just too bloody fussy right now. My YouTube channel is on life support right now. Why is that, Michael? What's going on with it? What's happened? Mine's made a slight resurgence, which is nice. We've had some nice growth recently. Turns out if you give it a bit of TLC, it likes you a bit. Who would have thunk it? David said, paint the white markings on your chestnut horses. I will make a note of it, David, and we'll try. I just don't want to give myself more work, if I'm honest. I know it's lazy, but yeah. No, we will. We will. Just keep pestering me. I want to do all the black tack now. Is it tack? I can never remember. I'm going to do all that first, and we'll revisit the horses. Mainly because when I get all the sort of the horse leathers sorted, it makes the horses seem closer to completion, which is a good feeling. Blake says, when we come out with a war game video, I really want to, mate. It's one of those where I need to just get on and do it, but I'm living an extremely busy life at the moment, so I just can't really get around to doing it, but it's something I really want to do, so please be patient with me. I don't want to go out and promise anything because it puts a time frame on it then, but yeah, I desperately want to get out and do something like that. I ain't got much time at the moment. So I don't really do any hobbying outside of these live streams at the moment, so but yeah, I really do want to do it, so you're patient with me, I will try my best and I will get it done. Michael says no views or publicity. Oh, that's strange. I have noticed it's a little bit too smart sometimes, which can then sort of damage your effort as well. Like if you're really trying to go for it, can really cause complications. I can't think too much about it because if I started really wanting X, Y, and Z from the channel, I know YouTube would throw a curveball and make a mess of it, and then it wouldn't happen. So I'm at a point now where I'm just taking what I can get, and I'm happy with it. Thomas says my uncle is William, but always Wooly, which is Ulster Scots way of saying Willie. Ah, I see. Right, I'm going to finish the black on this horse now, and then we'll have a go at putting some socks on those horses. Yeah. But I'm just thinking if I leave it any longer, I'll forget, and then you'll be like, Matt doesn't like my idea, but I do. Okay. My grandfather was christened John Henry, but universally called Jack. I feel like I've heard that before with like Johns and Jacks. But again, I don't know if it's like a guy's thing of like working, isn't it, where they're like, "Hey Jack." His son was christened Jack, but until my father's death, family called him John. Oh, that's nice. Michael says, I want to do cool stuff on my channel, but if it's not going to get views, then what's the point? Now, there's a philosophy behind this now, Michael. I'm going to share some of my wisdom, if it's wisdom, if you can call it that. I 100% agree with you to a certain extent. But because I was the same. And then recently I've taken the opinion that if you start thinking like that, then YouTube is gonna do you dirty, because YouTube just has a way of screwing people all the time. So you almost need to take the approach that you're going to make this content because you enjoy making content, and if you get any views from it, then that's a bonus, you know. And because I've been there, I've done a video where I'm like, I need this video to perform well, and it just tanks and doesn't perform well, or like, you know, I have some videos that get really nice views, say the first little period of time, which is awesome, because in theory is if YouTube detects that a video performs well in its first little bit of time, it knows, hang on, people are liking this, I'm going to promote it more, I'm going to put it in front of more people. Whereas, yeah, sometimes you'll I put a video out the other day, and it had 0 views for about 2 hours. Like, it just didn't get anything. And then potentially, if that happens to a video you put a lot of time in, then potentially it's not going to get picked up by the YouTube algorithm, and it's not going to perform, and it's going to do rubbish. And that can be really disheartening. So you almost need to eliminate I need 500 views on this. You know, you need to just kind of put that into the back of your head and go, because ultimately, if you enjoy making videos and you put a video out there that you enjoyed making and you've put effort into, people are going to appreciate that anyway. And I think it will naturally be picked up. It's just, I think if you start mentally thinking, I need to achieve this goal with this video, I just don't think it's going to happen. Something I've looked at recently, I think, if I were to aim, for example, it's actually a lesson I've learned recently with my most recent video of the Rebellion Miniatures review, is YouTube likes watch time. If your video has high watch time, then YouTube believes people enjoy watching it. And a way of getting more watch time is having longer videos. Like, I did a few videos which are like 4 or 5 minutes long, and they were getting good views, but just not the watch time. Whereas my recent Rebellion Miniatures one was a half-hour video, and the format of that video, people tend to watch more of it. So therefore, it's just absolutely spiked on watch time. And then I think YouTube then goes, oh, people like this, I'm going to put it out in front of more people, and then more people are seeing it, more people are watching it, watch time goes up, therefore YouTube thinks people like it, more people. It's like a snowball effect, you know. That's my hypothesis. Right, David, what are we doing with these socks? So yeah, if I could give you some advice, I think just try make, I would say, depends what videos you want to make, but if I'm going to go, like, for example, myself, I want to look at doing some more videos around sort of half-hour long. I want to make them nice and comfortable and easy to make. I do enjoy editing videos, which is a plus. So yeah, I think I would want to make a half-hour video format, and just chuck it out there. And, you know, again, David just said watch time is more valuable than clicks. Yeah, but you need clicks. You need people seeing the video. And I think the way that YouTube figures out it should show people is down to watch time. So having a longer format, or maybe a video that sort of encourages a longer watch, like, you know, unboxings is a good one. People would chuck that on because they want to see an unboxing of a video. You know, I do anyway. Then yeah, it's something like that where people are going to watch a fair bit of it, then YouTube then thinks, oh, hang on, I'm going to put it out in front of more people. So it might mean if I were to make a video tomorrow, which I suck at recording videos, but if I were to make a video tomorrow, I'd look at doing a half-hour video, and then I'd just chuck it out there and just hope for the best. You know, I have an idea in my head of what I want my content to achieve, which I always talk to Mark about it, because me and Mark are good mates. So I always chat to him what I want to achieve, and I've got again, this is going against what I'm saying now, because in my head, I would like one of my videos to achieve 20 hours watched. So every video, every live stream I release, I would like 20 hours watched. Because then I know I need to do X amount of videos a month to achieve my watch goals that I want to do. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. So live streams quite comfortably hit that most times. And then if I want to get that 20 hours watched, if I only release a 3-minute video, think about how many views that needs, you know? So that's maybe another way of looking at it. Right, David, what am I doing with these socks on these horses? Should I just put socks on them? Is that what you're saying? And is it on these ones? I can't think which one's sorrels. Are these sorrels and they're bays? Or are they sorrels and they're bays? Please help. And talk more about YouTube. Consistency. Consistency is king. This is where I found my live streams have been really good. Although when me and Mark were looking at, we asked ChatGPT to give us an idea of what's good for YouTube. Live streams not so good at growing a channel. It's great for dealing with regulars and stuff, which is basically what this has become, which has been awesome. But if you want to grow a channel, I think videos are more about it. But Tom says, on the off, anyone watching the snooker? I'm not a massive snooker fan, if I'm honest. I'm gonna have to search up this horse. No, I've searched up bay horse and it's just coming up with a pub. Okay. Oh, you said chestnut horses, didn't you, David? Right, chestnut. But loads of them are black socks. What do you reckon? What's everyone thinking? Or maybe we just bin the socks for now. Bays are brown. Sorry, okay. So how should I have the... Okay, so I'll just do white socks. Alright. I'll do it. Sorry, I thought you said chestnuts horses earlier, that's why. Points. I see. I don't know the horse terminologies, I'm sorry. But thank you. I'm no equestrian, that's for sure. There we go. That horse has got some socks on it. Thomas says, another YouTube channel I follow mentioned the same. His live streams premieres are more just regular viewers, and we do much the same here. Talk about the Civil War. What channel's that, Thomas? But yeah, I think live streams are that. It's a great way to keep in touch with your channel viewers, whereas videos are going to be yeah, videos are a bit more about getting out there. Anyway, I have to leave in a bit to do an unboxing video of Perry Miniatures. Oh, which let us know which box you're doing, mate. Thanks for the advice, Matt. I'll join back later. Happy painting. Have a good one, Michael. Okay, take it steady. David points at also mane, face, and tail, and Hock's sock area. Okay, all right. Thanks for the advice, David. We'll have a play with it, I think. History with waffles. I've not heard of that unless I have. I subscribe to so many channels. History with waffles. Ah, okay. I've not subscribed to them. There we go. We'll check some of their stuff out soon. I've not looked at them before. Right, I'm going to do a couple more horses with these, all the tack, and then we'll check out the Facebook and we'll see what you guys have been up to, because I've noticed we've had a fair bit of posts on there. I just realised I was going to post on the Facebook when I went live and I completely forgot to do it. Whoops. It's because I got distracted with the thumbnail for the stream. I need to employ someone, I think. It's going to be a big video. I'm doing a Perry Miniatures unboxing, Black Powder Battle Kit unboxing, and Heritage Miniatures unboxing. All very nice. Thanks, Matt. No problem, Michael. Have a good one. Thomas, his videos are excellent. Walks around and tells the story of a person or unit. His most video I got a shout out at the Irish Brigade Monument at Antietam, so a nice surprise. Oh, is that the killed by his own men at Antietam? The forgotten tragedy of the 14th Connecticut? Is that it? Well, I'm always I quite enjoy sort of that sort of there's another one, History. Is it History Underground? He does something similar. Does like a lot of walk around stuff. But I find like with the American Civil War, it's great to have as just something to listen to when you're doing something or drive. Like quite often, I'll put on stuff like this when I'm driving, so I can just listen to it. But yeah, it's just nice to have just anything about the American Civil War, where it's just like little stories or something, because it's always good just to listen to. Just I quite like the battlefield tours as well from Gettysburg. Matt Atkinson or something. Getting him on there. That's good. All right, one more horsey. Another good history channel is Survive History and Epic History. I think I do watch Epic History. Davis has seen them, recommended vids. Thomas also says History Underground is good as well. He's done a few Revolutionary War videos with History with Waffles. Oh, okay. I've seen he did a tour of the last stuff I probably watched of his was when he did Normandy. That could have been a good while ago now, to be honest. I don't watch a lot of YouTube anymore. I think I've said this before. Like a few years back, I would really get into sort of a lot of the hobby channels and stuff. And when I was painting and that, I would have them on. But that's just sort of died away now. I don't really do it, which is sad. But I think it's probably because I don't hobby that much, so I'm not having these channels on much. It's just a shame because it's actually nice to be in touch with sort of the community. I remember when the plastic podcast first fired up. And yeah. Maybe I'll work my way up to an invite one day, who knows. Yeah, there used to be I used to be really, like, sort of part of the really nice community that is the YouTube lot, to be honest. When I first started up, you had the likes of, like, Legion, British Legion. He was great. Wargaming Anonymous as well. Loads of big names, and everyone's. I know the Plastic Crap podcasts were they're still going very strong. But I remember when Martin first started out. Well, he basically, I think, like, one of his first videos was doing a video on contrast painting horses, and it just blew up. He's just done so well off it. Yeah, the rest is history. All right, bye, Matt. No worries, Michael. Take steady, bird. History of Waffles is good for those of us who can't get to the battlefields easily, such as myself. I only watch YouTube at night due to insomnia and issues with falling asleep, and I need background noise. Yeah, I just I don't spend a lot of time in front of the computer anymore. I do but it's not to watch YouTube. Thomas, the only videos I really go out and watch is premieres and lives. Other than that, I listen to music. No, fair enough, mate. My phone has not stopped tonight. Yeah, I'm just not into much at the moment with YouTube, which is a shame. But hey, but again, a lot of the YouTube I listen to now is if I'm driving, I'll put something on to listen to. So we all need Gary Oldman in our life. This guy's such an expert and an enthusiast. Yeah, he's cracking. He's great. He's great. Again, I really like Matt Atkinson as well. Park Ranger Matt Atkinson. He's great to listen to on Stuff Writer. Anyway, shall we have a look at our Facebook group? Best do, don't we? Oh, this might be a problem. Okay. I've got Facebook Messenger just pinging off at the moment, so I'll try to keep on top of that so you guys don't see my messages. Right. Let's have a look at. Oh, that's a point, Tim. Yeah, I just seen your thing come up on Facebook about Alex. I did message Alex on Instagram, because they've got a thing on Instagram, but they never replied. It's a shame, isn't it? Right, let's do that. Make sure we're on the fresh one. Okay, let's go back to last week, and then we'll work our way through. There's me. You don't need to worry about that. What was the date? 12th was the Sunday. So we saw that. Tim, that was you posting, which you just commented on. I'll try to put you in contact with him, Tim, on Instagram, perhaps, if that's something you're on. Okay, right. We had our poll, which was a success. That was enjoyable. Here we go. Thomas, in preparation for a new group campaign, this time Napoleonic campaign. So I'm preparing by doing some French. We don't need to see that. 1812 Bard in uniform. So I've decided to correct this and do them all in the pre-1812 uniforms. First battalions, of which I have 4, 3 line and 1 light, will be in full dress uniforms, as second and third battalions, of which I have 3 of each in line, will be in greatcoats, or maybe dress unions, depends how much I have left over. The light infantry battalion is my Irish Legion, which I'm redoing in piano metals. The first battalions in dress uniforms will be Perry and Warlord, and the second battalions will be piano plastics using their new set. Each battalion is 36 men. Cool, that's a big one. And throw out up to 8 skirmishers or line, or 12 for lights, which act completely independent of their regiments. These skirmishers may also form a light battalion, just depending on what the scenario calls for. Let's check it out. Nice. Are these the piano ones? These greatcoats? They must be actually, because Warlord and Perry's. Do Perry's have advancing arms? Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that's a nice haul, mate. That's a nice haul. If I was starting my collection again, I think I would look at piano. The bits box. Don't need that. Don't know why everyone's deciding to mess. I'm in a couple of Facebook groups. That's why, and it's all going off. Some grenadiers, very nice. I do like those shade. I quite like that shade of That was like the 18. Is it they were issued in like 1812 or something like that, or just before 1812? I think they were issued those sort of brown coats ready for. We're back to the 1812 campaign, which is quite cool. There's me. Washed Grenadier. On advice from Tim the Pellet Wargaming, I added a wash to them. The wash time recommended is different as I only had strong tone on hand at midnight last night. Liking the look, so probably have some more washes on the rest. I think, yeah, if you went for those browns, I think having it washed with that brown, a dark tone would be good, I think. That is Panzer Ace's British tank crew paint. Oh, what the... Oh, nice, yeah. Oh, the... I don't know what you call it now, brown. Yeah. Some Grenadiers of the Line. Here we go. More from Thomas has been a busy bee. Just need to paint their boots, backpacks. I forgot to paint them before I wash them, but I did some flocking on the bases. We'll probably finish them during the start of the stream, so hopefully we'll have them 100% done by tonight. Nice. That's the thing, you can go back as well. If you've washed them now, that's fine. You can just go back and do it. Yeah. See, yeah, I see what we're saying. Like that just adds so much depth, doesn't it? By having a wash on it, it's very nice. Very nice. Yeah, crisp. I really like the red with the Grenadiers, like having that red, just colour to them, makes them stand out on the table. I really here we go. I really enjoyed painting my depending on French. Here we go, with some grass on there as well. Very nice, Thomas. Very nice. Go away, Facebook. Very nice. This my stand of 6 Grenadiers for the line battalion of the 65th line. Juno's Corps, very good. Very nice, Thomas. I thought we had a few other things, but I think it was just you, Thomas, that have spoilt us with your hard work. I thought I saw something else, but I haven't. That's fine. Army Painters Pure Red for the red. Yeah, it's nice, mate. Well, this is similar to how I paint. I'll do a wash and then leave it as that, but you've always got the option to... Where have I put my drink? Or have I finished it? You've always got the option of going in and layering if you really want as well, giving some highlights. And if you want more dirty look, just use a less dilute wash. Yeah, exactly. To be honest, I don't water down my washes. I don't. I'm going to switch back, actually. We'll switch back to the table. I don't water down my washes. I just use them out of the bottle, which might be sacrilege, but I'm going to carry on painting because I thought we had a bit more on the Facebook, but we don't, so which is fine. But don't want you just looking at the same thing. So. I also don't water down my washes. Yeah, no, I think some washes I'm sure you probably need to, but from my experience with the washes I use, I get away with it. I don't need it. Again, like with Citadel's black wash now being so watered down anyway, just no need for it. And it's personal preference with the washes as well. Like I really get on with Citadel, but then I know people who don't, and they use. And again, I didn't personally like the army paint and stuff, but then a good mate of mine uses it all the time. So right, let's try rattle through these last few horses whilst we got the time. whilst the night is still young. I had good intentions of doing a load of painting tonight, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe we have actually done a fair bit, but we've done a lot of talking as well. Thomas, looking forward to the next few weeks, end of university semester and a new project on the go, plus new job, has me working from home and on less hours. So more hobby time. Blimey. You're getting paid to sit at home and you're getting more hobby time. What a result. I wish I could work from home. Although I feel like if I did work from home, I wouldn't work from home and then probably lose my job. So I'm only working a short week this week at least because I'm off. I'm off doing my other hobby that is LARP this weekend coming. So yeah, which I'm very much looking forward to. Davey says, I don't use bought washes. They're only watered down paint. I water down paint to suit the job. Yeah. How do you do it then? Do you just water it down or do you use a medium? Because I think using a sort of a medium definitely is different to then just using water from my experience. But yeah, I guess you're right. It is just a watered down paint, isn't it? So. Just remembered, I'm going to be doing the horse's eyes as well. I forgot. Oh well. Mm-hmm. Very close. Just water, dilute, test swipe on the card, and off you go. If it's too thin, add. Or subtract if it's too thick, I assume, is what you're going to add on that. No, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I didn't know if water had a similar... I know mediums are sort of specifically designed for it. Yeah, I very much just use Citadel stuff, which I really like. Fabulous. Horses done. I'm going to have to do a bit of a wash on these just because where the paint hasn't taken to that one very well. It's all a bit skeweth. A bit skeweth. But yeah. Right. So, what progress have we made? We've painted the flesh on the horses, as well as the manes and tails, as well as the sack. Now, the next step will be sort of the blanket rolls, the saddles, the saddle blankets, which I think will be an extreme job because I think that can be achievable next stream. We haven't really touched poor old Pettigrew down here, but he's not got any horses, so we're going to do the horses first. But yeah, we show off what you've got so far. So yeah, well it'll be the saddles and stuff next. And yeah, hopefully if that gets done next time, then be on to the officers. There you go. There you go. And we finished bang on time. So I've not been massively into the painting, but I've had a bit of a long weekend. So I was a bit off it. My policy: if something that comes out of the tap works, why give them my cash? It's a great idea, David. And if you can make it work, absolutely. So yeah, sorry I've not done tons of painting this stream, but we've had a really nice chat instead. So I'll take what I can. But thank you so much for everyone popping by. We are going to end the stream about now anyway because it's 10 o'clock. So yeah, massive thanks to everyone who popped by. I really appreciate it. We've had David, Thomas, Blake, Soraya, Mark, Tim, Michael. I think that's about it. Let's see if there's anyone else popped up. Can't quite think. I think that was it actually. I will say, please do share the King Matt Superior page. So not the community page, but the actual King Matt Superior page. Because again, if we can get that to 100 followers, I can do live streams on there as well, which will be really nice. So yeah, massive thanks to everyone watching it live. I really appreciate you guys. Everyone watching this back on replay, another massive appreciation. Thank you so much. Again, if you're curious what we get up to previously, you can check it all out on the American Civil War Sunday stream playlist. Again, I won't be here next Sunday. I'm away, but I'll be back then in May. Sorry, not March. We've been there. May. So yeah, we'll end the stream there. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll catch you all next time on the next stream. So have a wonderful rest of your Sunday and week going forward. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night. Bye bye.